finally awake.
November 11th, 2011. The world was blessed with the epic, the legendary, the most arrow to the knee, what's wrong, did someone steal your sweet role-filled game to date. And we have the great Todd Howard to thank for that. All hail Todd. So, you know why you're here, you've seen the title of this video. Today we're talking about the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, and how it has remained an incredibly popular game since its release, and why it's going on to becoming a timeless and a classic game for 3 leading reasons. Now, if you've played Skyrim, then you understand just how much you can do in this game, and if you haven't, well, what the hell are you doing? Go treat yourself to this game and then come back to this video. But just in case you're not already sold on playing this game and why it's on its way to becoming a classic, let me tell you just a little itty bitty bit about what else you can do in the world of Skyrim. Back in November of 2016, in an interview with Todd Howard for the Rolling Stone titled Skyrim Creator on Why We'll Have to Wait for Another Elder Scrolls, Chris Suellentrop speaks to the success of Skyrim, saying, quote, "The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, the studio's previous game, may have been an even bigger hit, selling 30 million copies in the 5 years since its release. The average Skyrim player, according to Bethesda, has spent 150 hours inside the game's vast open world," end quote. It's no surprise that people are spending that much time in the world of Skyrim, especially with how much tasty stuff there is for you to shove down your throat, and even when you think you're full and you can't possibly find a way to keep eating, you still keep going back for more because, God, there's so much to do in this game. In the opening few minutes, you get to decide whose side you want to be a part of in a civil war. Yeah, that's right. In the first few minutes of gameplay, the game makes you decide that. Then again, you don't have to be a part of the Civil War, as Skyrim has so much more to offer in its 9 different major quest lines. There's the main quest line, where you fight dragons and save the world of Skyrim from the leader of the dragons. And I don't know how they pick the leader of the dragons, but if it's judged on how likely you are to get cut if you pet them, this guy definitely wins. There's the Civil War quest lines, where you either join the Imperial Legion or the Stormcloaks, and then you fight each other for control over Skyrim. The College of Winterhold questline, where you can master all 5 of the arcane arts: alteration, conjuration, destruction, illusion, restoration, but will ultimately end up just using fireballs to destroy your opponents. The Companions questline, where you become a werewolf. The Daedric questline, where you get a lot of cool artifacts, but you're really just an errand boy for the Daedric gods in this one. The Dark Brotherhood questline, this is the one where you get paid to kill people. The Thieves Guild questline, you steal things and then get inducted into a dying cult. The Dawnguard questline, where you kill vampires, and the Dragonborn questline, where you fight a guy who shouts really loud. Combined, these major questlines have a total of 161, but the game has another 112 quests, if none of those sound appealing to you. If you feel so inclined, you can even go find a nice person who also likes long walks on the beach and sucking dragon souls out after murdering them, and marry that person, buy a house, and adopt children. But don't do that last one. The children of Skyrim are horrifying and all look exactly the same, just with different hair. Then there's also the 9 different main weapons you can choose to fight with, those being daggers, maces, swords, war axes, battle axes, greatswords, warhammers, bows and arrows, and crossbows. That's not all there is in Skyrim, but basically there is a lot to do, which gives it such a massive replayability factor. The way you switch up your gameplay is all up to you, but in the end, you can do just about whatever you want to in Skyrim. You could even be like Brian David Gilbert, who read every single book in Skyrim, which makes a great transition into my next point. Oh Skyrim, how deep and far your lakes and rivers of lore run. Before Skyrim, there were 6 other Elder Scrolls games, which means that even before Skyrim, there's a whole lot of lore already established. But you don't need to have played all the other games to learn about the past of Skyrim, that'd be silly. Instead, there are 337 books in the game that you, the player, can read. The great and powerful Todd Howard, creator of Skyrim, said during an interview with the Rolling Stone that, quote, "Some of the things we do speak to people who don't traditionally play games or don't traditionally play role-playing games. They make it their own experience, and that was what was most important to us, putting somebody in a world where they can do what they want. I think that's what's really special about video games as entertainment," end quote. And, well, he couldn't have done a better job at creating a game for people who don't usually play games, by, adding 337 books into the game that the player could honestly just not read. Aside from the insane amount of textual knowledge there is in Skyrim, there are also tons of characters with believable lives of their own and have plenty of stories to tell. Each and every city you visit in Skyrim is going through their own internal struggles, such as Winterhold being very against the College of Winterhold. The people don't like magic, but the college is exclusively for magic. Or Riften, where the Thieves Guild runs rampant, and each city is equipped with every kind of building you'd expect to see, such as homes, blacksmiths, crypts, museums, and my personal favorite, the taverns. The taverns of Skyrim are a magical place where you can earn a bit of extra coin if you need to. You can learn about new quests from the barkeeps, start fights, and best of all, sit down and listen to some of the music of Skyrim. This song right here, best song in all of Skyrim. However, there is a solution if you don't feel like enjoying some of the best music ever composed ever, and that's by adding your own. What's that? It's time for another transition. If, for some reason, you are bored with what the base game of Skyrim has to offer, well, there's a whole community dedicated to spicing up this game by adding a bit of their own flair to it. Skyrim is known for its modding community, and there are many who refuse to even play the game without modding it, which is stupid, and you should appreciate and love the game for what it is. But also I understand. I too love being able to slice Macho Man Randy Savage as a dragon with a lightsaber for fun. We all do. Modding Skyrim can either be to add a few extra weapons and spells to add a bit more variety to the game, or it could be used to create an absolute monstrosity that crashes your game every single time you try to start it, and congratulations, you've broken your game. Some people have gone above and beyond with mods, like the Forgotten City, which adds a whole new story to the game, entirely player created with new places, spells, weapons, and an original soundtrack so good it makes you wonder why Bethesda hasn't hired these people already. Modding has also brought me one of my favorite YouTube series, Touch the Skyrim. Griffin McElroy talks about the series in the Polygon article presenting Touch the Skyrim, a new series in which we try to kill Skyrim with mods, from November 2016, saying that, quote, "The premise for this video series is simple. In each episode, I'll install a generous handful of mods into the game, the classic version, mind you, as a lot of mods haven't been retrofitted for the special edition yet. That means that with each subsequent episode, the list of mods will grow larger and larger, and the game more and more unrecognizable. This endeavor will have two potential outcomes. We will make a game that Nick will enjoy, or we will kill Skyrim from within." End quote. To wrap everything all up in a little bow, Skyrim is a game that has so much to offer, whether you're into combat-based games, storytelling, and even cooking. Oh yeah, you can also cook food in Skyrim and become a little chef. Skyrim's got something for everyone, and if it doesn't in the base game, someone's probably already created a way to do it, which is why Skyrim is on its way to becoming a classic title and a timeless game.